Good morning and good afternoon, fellow heathens. The anime community is in strife, and we're here to AniFix it. I am Callum from the only good anime YouTube channel, TheCanipaEffect. I worked on this intro. I worked on it.
Oh my god, I didn't realise we were on the Canipa show. God.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, you're in my room now. And with me today is the chronically inactive Russ from the Anime Planet.
Hi guys.
And I can't record the podcast because I haven't watched any anime. It's Glen from GlenLovesAnime.
Fuck you, first off. And what a silly intro. Are we like a kids' TV show? I didn't realize I was watching Precure this morning.
I don't think kids' TV shows usually start with "Good morning, fellow heathens."
Well, they definitely start with a cheesy goddamn intro, if anything.
Yeah, I work so hard on that. The anime community's in strife, and we're here to AniFix it all week.
They're just gonna think you're an arrogant asshole, Callum.
It's fine.
I mean, you are. But
that's not new.
Anime.
I've been working on that reputation.
Yeah, yes,
Fuck
anime.
it.
Right. Guys, what do we start with? I'm gonna let you choose, Glen. You can choose.
Oh, of course, because I can't speak for myself. I gotta go to Glen. Hey guys, I'm the arrogant asshole number 2. Russ, you gotta keep up with the game. So yeah, summer started. Surprisingly enough, who would have thought? It's really hot out, and anime came. So we're gonna talk about them.
It's not.
It's not hot, Glen. It's pouring it down.
It's freezing right now.
Go fuck yourselves. Anime. What was your guys' favorite premieres of like all the stuff that you happen to watch?
Isn't that an obvious question, Glen? What sequel
it's
airing
obvious.
this
Let's look
season?
at the title of this, probably. Summer 2015 anime talkie talks, and you're like, oh, what an obvious question. What else am I gonna fucking talk about? The goddamn football game?
Listen, Glen. You know the answer already, don't you? Go on. Say it. Say it yourself. Go on.
I don't.
It's Chaos Dragon.
Oh,
I love this first episode, honestly.
Chaos Dragon's the best
amazing
anime.
Characters, narrative. I especially love the CG dragon.
That's
compelling character.
Dude, they released the cover
Callum,
for the first volume of the Blu-ray. The CG dragon's on there. They couldn't even bother to hand draw it on the fucking Blu-ray.
Yeah. Have you noticed that the main character does not wear pants at all?
Yeah, for all the Shotacons out there.
Yeah, he just like. I had to point it out to a few people because he wears bags on the side of his legs just so that people who look from the side is like, yeah, he's going full commando. Like
you just have to when you're fighting in wars and stuff, you just got to free ball it every now and then.
Yeah. It's how can you unleash your true magical powers
if your penis is being tucked somewhere it shouldn't be? Yeah.
It's funny because that series is based on a tabletop RPG made through loads of notable authors.
Yeah, Bakuno and Durara author, Urabuchi, Nasu, tons of dudes who aren't that great of writers, but people think they are.
I like the Bakuno.
No, I like most of them. I was just saying that to get people all riled up.
Yeah.
I was hoping one of you would try to fist fight me and make this more interesting.
No, I'm just too entranced by Chaos Dragon's pure mystery. But that character is not only a main character, but he's a character that somebody actually thought of, and that's what amazed me. There is a human being out in this world who role-played an entire game, and in that, as soon as they sat down, he showed his character sheet, and he's like, he doesn't wear pants.
He sat down, he wasn't wearing pants. They were just like, I guess we're gonna go with this, I guess.
Yeah, he needed to get into character and just freeball it.
Really, the only character that matters is Urabuchi, because he has giant, massive tits for whatever reason. It's pretty great.
Yeah. So Urabuchi is the girl who was flying around on some dragon thing, monster.
Something
was
like that. Fuck it. You're right. I know all the lore behind Chaos Dragon and every single character's name. Really.
Hey, I'm striking up conversation.
Callum,
Chaos Dragon.
Callum, you've ruined this. So let's move on to something not terrible. Russ.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say. Wait, so Callum, you legitimately
just kidding. I don't care,
this
Callum.
No, Chaos Dragon is possibly one of the worst series.
No,
I've
but
watched
it's
in a
it's
very long
the
time.
absolute
I'm
worst,
glad.
but it's the absolute best because it is the
Yeah.
absolute worst. That's how it works.
Yeah, it's so bad it's good. It's just kind of hilarious.
Yeah, because when you told me to watch it, I was going in, I was like, Callum must think this is good, but I watched it. It was awful. And then,
I just
so I didn't watch
Well,
the second
when I-
episode. But yeah.
when I tell you to watch it, and I'm giggling at the same time,
Oh yeah,
it's,
you were giggling. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
like a schoolgirl.
Aren't we all just schoolgirls on the inside? Speaking of schoolgirls, Classroom Crisis. Did you guys like it?
I like Classroom Crisis quite a lot.
I liked it quite a bit too. But Russ, I want to hear if you liked it, so I can fight with you, please.
Depends. Have you seen the second episode, Glen?
No.
Or just the first? See, yeah, I'm in
the
the same
first.
boat. And like lots of people have been saying, it felt so... I don't know what the right word is. Characters were just coming in left and right. There wasn't really
What?
any sort of
But it's the same.
backbone.
It's the same
Russ.
character. It's the same characters.
Russ.
It's the same characters from the first episode.
No,
Just
I'm
getting more
talking about the
information.
first, Callum.
No,
That's what the first felt like
he's only
to
seen
me.
the first episode, Callum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I haven't seen
Alright.
the second,
Russ.
so that's what I want to know. Like,
Russ.
what
You
happens in
Russ,
the second?
Russ, you don't have to dance around it. The show's first episode was aggressively boring, but it was
Yes,
interesting.
that-
The thing is, Callum, there's tons of like
That's
stuff.
not
There's
so
tons of
boring.
stuff happening, tons of like explosions and whatnot, and I found it really interesting. I was like, this world where the students are also employees of this company, it's cool, but like, I was bored most of the time, and like, I still like it because I said it's interesting. The interesting aspect makes up for the boring parts of the show that I felt, were kind of like and also the production's absolute garbage for the most part, except for like that really nicely drawn ED, but that's besides the point. Like, the characters and the premise are really... It sets up a lot of interpersonal dynamics between these characters, but doesn't really give us much time with them in that first episode, and it's like, okay, it's the first episode, I can deal with that. So I really forgive it, and I liked it. It was really interesting, but it was boring. It was boring. You can't tell me it was not boring for most of the time.
Is boring
I
the
think there
right
was
word?
part-
Like, I get what you
I
mean,
wouldn't say
Glen.
boring.
But yeah, I
I'd-
wouldn't say
I think-
boring. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd use the word boring either.
I can't think of another word to
because-
use.
Because I think not exciting is probably a better way, because interesting infers some
I know that.
entertainment
I know that's
value.
why I was saying. That's why I saying it makes up for that, because
It's-
it's not boring, but it feels boring. I'm just like, I'm interested in this, but I feel like I should be bored, I suppose.
Yeah, it needed more of those moments, like when they were shooting through the asteroid belt, and there was one of the girls in the room who was just calculating the budget and just reacting so strongly to it. It was those moments that it really, really needed, but it didn't play them off, and it just came off as a bit bland in places. But I think the second episode repaired that because it gave us context for everything, and whilst it was a bit of an info dump, it was an info dump we really, really, really needed.
I'm not sure if I'd call it particularly an info dump, because it was done, I'd say,
It
more
was
gracefully than
was
I'd
presented,
expect.
yeah.
Like
Like this idea of presenting it as a documentary was really cool, and having all the characters watching that documentary.
it's more of like the setting. Like, it's a really nice play. Like, think about it. Lots of first episodes of anime start out with the transfer student, right? It was a really nice play on like the transfer student starting the first episode cliche, and it was just like he came in and he was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm your boss." I thought that was really cool.
They've built up this premise as they're both employees and they are students, and they've built it up to have this dynamic where, a student can also be the boss.
Yeah,
And there can be this power
that's like
struggle.
its best strength, essentially, is it's contrasting all of the students' beliefs and values against the structure they live in, because they are also the employees. It's interesting. Like, that's the best word I can use to describe it. It is interesting, and I'm gonna watch it all, mainly because of the Orimo character designer, but it's also interesting in its own aspects.
Yeah. Also, about an hour ago, they released some samples of the soundtrack, and they are really, really good.
I didn't take much notice to the soundtrack, but I'll take a listen.
It's the Gundam Build Fighters soundtrack.
Of course.
Guy. I really, really love that soundtrack.
So that was one of my favorite premieres. Like, besides Chaos Dragon, like, can we... any others, maybe?
I don't know. Russ, you've been dying to say it. I think you should get your chance in the limelight to talk about Gangsta.
Yeah. What'd you think of Gangsta, Russ? I heard you loved it.
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Okay, talk about Non Biyori.
Talk about an anime
All right.
you've actually seen.
Yes. Finally, Non Biyori Repeat. Okay, so have you seen the second episode, Callum?
No, but I've heard it's kind of interesting.
It is very...
They've changed up what they normally do for sequels.
Yes,
it's because they cut up to the manga.
It's literally like... it's weird. It's weird, but in the opening...
It's Non Biyori Repeat.
I know, Glen. I know. It's Non Biyori Repeat, so it should be repeating itself.
Repeat.
But, yes,
Yep.
but they play this game... Like, I don't know if this is a legitimate game, but it sounded so cool, and it's like the kind of thing that if I knew that, I'd be playing that all the time, right? So basically what you do, is you get a ruler, and you put it on a table, and the idea is to, you like have loads of people playing, and you have to like flick each other's rulers off, and it's...
Oh, I thought we were going to go to like measuring your penis type stuff, and I was like, Ross. Well, rulers, you know.
Why are you ruining Non Biyori?
I was gonna say,
Well,
Glen, you are
someone
awful.
had to do it.
No.
I'm an awful person. This is
You are.
undeniable.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, explain to this fun game.
How big's your penis?
Russ. God, fuck.
Oh my god. But they like the fact that Non Biyori can make something like that entertaining is just... It like, you think about it, and you're like, this is just a simple little game, but that's like half the episode, them playing a game where you flick rulers off the table, and it was just a great 12 minutes. But I won't... Yeah, exactly. It's Repeat is more Non Biyori. Exactly how I like it, and I love it. It's great. So yeah.
I'm kind of concerned with the idea that it's going back to basics, though, to the very start.
It doesn't matter. It literally, you'd think it would matter, but how Non Biyori is, it feels like, say if you were to just get midway into episode 2, Callum, and you'd forget that they were repeating things, you'd think that it is literally a continuation, just because that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because
like,
in the first season and in this, the character relationships are basically determined right away. There's not much like development in those relationships, which is not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. So it's like if you go right into it like they've been, it's like it's just another episode of Non Biyori. There's not much to be said. Like maybe like they can't bring up like old moments, like that one time Hotaru or not Hotaru. One of the characters like dressed up and was like looked like an older lady or whatever, and like they hung out.
That was Hotaru.
Yeah.
But what about Okinawa in the OVA?
They can't go to Okinawa.
They were all going to Okinawa.
They went and they had so much fun. They died. No, that's how it works. They went to Okinawa. They died, but then it was like repeat. It was like the endless 8. It was like, we can't let this happen. So fucking it's like they're in an endless time loop. That's not Non Biyori Repeat. It's gotten so complicated. I can't handle it.
I don't want this world.
This is the world. Live it.
Before this gets
they're not even. They just go through every 6 months. They never grow up. They never leave.
It's the endless 8, except the endless forever.
They never do anything. Every time they try and leave the town, they just get reset back to that day.
So I mean,
guys, it kind of works. Guys, like Higurashi, when they cry, like they live in rural like areas. So like, it's like it's Higurashi.
What?
It's Higurashi. They're all gonna die.
They've died already.
What are they doing to Non Biyori? I'm gonna write an angry message.
Dear Mr. Silverlink CEO, how dare you? And he just replies, LOL. He sends you a sound clip. Non Biyori.
Yeah, I just send it to the CEO and he's just like, oh yeah, yeah, fuck it. Because the CEOs never care.
How about, like, non-sequel Russ? Like, any non-sequel shit?
Alright then, let's talk about Charlotte. Because...
No.
No. I want to talk about
Is
this,
it
because I know
actually-
what Glen's going to say. Glen,
Is
am I
it
gonna-
Charlotte
what am I gonna
or is
say?
it Charlotte?
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Because they like Charlotte, because they like said it in English in the show, I believe.
Did they? I don't know. I wasn't paying
Did they?
attention.
I think they did.
I don't remember that.
I
But
only
that's
saw-
how they
I've
would
only seen-
pronounce
I've only
it.
seen the first episode, so...
what do you think of the first episode, Glen?
It's okay.
Yeah, see...
Great.
It was
Thanks for
better
your
than I
insights.
thought it would be.
If you thought the first... But did you like the way the first episode was going? That's a better way of
What do
wording
you-
it. Like,
how it was
did you like
going?
the whole like, you know, this guy is using his ability to just dick about, sort of.
Oh yeah, I love. No, I
'Cause
loved that. 'Cause
I
it's like
really
if I
loved
got a
that.
super,
That
if I got a
was-
superpower, I'd fuck with everyone. I wouldn't be some superhero. I'd be like, hey mom, oh I'm behind you now. Poke, LOL. I wouldn't fucking
Yeah, but-
go be a superhero.
This character went a bit further than that by trying to crash a
That
truck
okay, yeah, he's a bit
into girl.
of a cunt.
It's a bit more than just
But like
poke.
it's
Haha.
it's like the obvious setup though, where it's like we need to set this guy up as a dislikable character from the beginning, so that way he can be redeemed later on in the story. But yeah, he's a cunt. Total.
Oh
cunt.
yeah, he's a total
Just like,
wanker.
just so I can get this girl to date me, I'm gonna try to murder her, but then save her.
Oh,
And you know,
wasn't
and that
even
one guy,
like
what if that one guy in the truck died? What if his like fucking like his air fucking bags didn't like come out, and he just murdered him?
Yeah, it's weird to like, is he actually genuinely psychotic, or I'm interested to see how that would develop, and it really does need to take a lot of redeeming to go from socially dysfunctional to character we can somewhat like.
They tried to give like some sort of maybe justification. Maybe he wants to prove himself to people. That's why he wanted to be handsome and smart. Because like at the very end of the first episode, I haven't seen the second episode of anything actually. Just gonna say that right now, guys. They show his like dad, and it's just like, oh, he didn't have a dad to like prove himself to or something, to like make proud, so he has to make himself proud or some other dumb shit like that. I don't know. It's the first episode.
Crash
It was
trucks into women.
yeah, you know, that's just the usual thing. It's like, why would I hit you when I could just crash a truck into you? Russ, did I meet your expectations on what you thought I'd say?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. See, you're not. I
doubt
think
that.
you're gonna like.
Predictable
I don't
as
think you're
ever.
gonna like the second episode. Not many people did. Because basically
That's-
they're doing the whole, you know, the key thing where it's like, oh, it's getting serious. And
true.
yeah, and you just throw this random his brother, but that's besides the point. What do you think of the little sister, Glen? She's the best. She is the best character in the show. She made it.
She deserves
yeah.
better.
Do you know? It's weird because while I was watching it, I don't know why, but in the it kind of turned, like, for a little bit, not the whole way through, but it kind of reminded me slightly of Haruhi at some points, and I don't even know why, because when I think about it, it was nothing
I
like
think,
Haruhi, really, other than
main
the sister is kind of like the little sister. But
The main character is kind of not the main character. Sorry, the female lead is kind of Haruhi-esque.
Yeah, that's
See-
something I could say.
kind of, but not really. Like,
Not-
Haruhi
not-
was a lot more in your face. She's more.
Yeah. Well, she's more like, I've got this job to do.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm gonna do that the best I can, and fuck you if you try and stop me with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
please don't
She's a
fuck
British-
me, no.
She's a great female lead.
Yeah.
In her own right.
No, I
Yeah.
like her a lot. She's upbeat. It's nice. I like it's like I'm calling you out. She's the straight man essentially. She's calling, well, not the straight man, but she's just calling MC Kun, what is his name, I think, out on his shit.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got the no, here it is. It's Sharato. That's how they say it in Japan.
Well, yeah, because it's just English.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I was just saying earlier that wondering how we're meant to pronounce it, but I believe it is it's just Charlotte.
Probably just Charlotte.
Yeah.
Alright, I've given you guys enough time. I'm gonna talk about Rokka because I like Rokka a lot.
I like Rokka too. That's quite nice.
Did you actually watch
We
Rokka?
can talk about
Russ?
it together.
I did not.
Yeah.
This
Look,
guy
I put a little
is
asterisk
useless.
by it. That means I didn't watch it. That's what the asterisk.
Don't let them know we have special list of what we've seen.
Don't let them know that we've scripted this entire podcast.
Yeah, the entire podcast has been scripted this entire time. You might want to cut that because people will actually believe that. Like, people are sometimes that dumb.
Anyway,
You can cut the bit where Glen calls our audience dumb.
I didn't call them dumb. I said some people. That way, like the other ones would be like, okay, he doesn't mean me. Thank God.
Okay. Leave all of that in, by the way. Okay, talk about Rokka no Yuusha.
It's good.
Great.
Well, I already read like 3 of the novels,
Wait,
so like I know a lot more than you do. Probably is the thing. So I don't know where to start. Like, I guess
I've watched episode 2.
You're way ahead of me in the game.
Yeah. Rokka no Yuusha is that adventure anime sort of thing that I love because we don't get pure adventure series much.
Yeah, I love
days.
fantasy series, especially when tacking on to an actual adventure happening, like this seems to be doing. But like at the same time, like I said, I read the novels. It's more of a mystery, if anything, actually.
Yeah, because the premise of it basically is all of our 6 chosen heroes appear, except 7 turn up at the place. So then they need to work out which one of them is presumably the person who's killing all of the heroes.
Who could it be?
Woo.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love the setting as well because I really like the Mayan-esque setting it has going on. It's really cool.
It's insanely unique to have
that is unique.
Mix between
like
Mayan and
Mesoamerica.
Incan.
I don't know how to describe it. Mayan, Aztec.
But the character designs play into that as well. So, the main female leads with bunny girl,
the
ears.
best.
That's just because they want a bunny girl.
That's something I love about anime. Like, you'll have a story, but like just little changes. Like in Game of Laplace, how like after the teacher's murdered, like the teacher comes back and she like has bunny ears or something. It's just like you got to throw in those little anime like aesthetics that like everyone's used to because it's great. I love it.
But that's the thing. This isn't an anime like aesthetic. This is something taken from Aztec culture because Aztec warriors used to get like dress up as animals, and that's
so they were into that.
That's a throwback. God. It's a cultural touch which most people will just see as just anime bunny girls hair.
Yeah, it's like this time it actually has an explanation.
Yeah.
One that a justified explanation other than just LOL bunny girls are hot.
Yeah. In terms of production, episode 1 and episode 2 are miles apart.
Tends to happen.
Episode 1 had this amazing fight sequence. Only lasted about 30 seconds of really solid animation, but that really was damn good. Episode 2, not much so, and we've got CG demons.
Yeah, I saw the CG in the PVs, and I was just like,
very good.
Yeah, they don't look great, no. But other than that, like the aesthetics of the show, I really like them. Like it's a colorful show, but the colors are drained out. Like they're not vibrant. It's really weird in that sort of way.
But at the same time, it's nailing that. It works with the character designs. It works with the world. I think if they were to make it more vibrant, then it would be more off-putting than anything.
Well, yeah, I didn't want it as vibrant. I like it because it's like tons of shows are all vibrant and colorful, but this one's colorful yet drained, and it looks more unique because of it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a cool show. It's kind of like similar in a way to Rage of Bahamut, Bahamut no Genesis or whatever. Like, it's that type of, like,
Yes.
action blockbuster type stuff going on. Not really action blockbuster type stuff, but just more in the vein of adventure stories that aren't, like, as common as people think in anime.
It doesn't nail down the action comedy sides that Bahamut has, and I don't think I'll enjoy it as much as Bahamut.
I didn't see the second episode, but I thought, like, the chemistry and, like, the banter between the MC, Adlet, and Bunny Girl Princess was, like, really good. I thought that was funny.
It doesn't continue as much.
Great.
In the second episode, I forgot her name, Bunny Girl, just she becomes more reliant on the protagonist because she hasn't been in real battle outside of these arena stuff. So it did weaken in terms of that, but they did introduce a new character who is trying to kill the protagonist currently. Can't wait for episode 3. Will the protagonist die? Stay tuned.
Yeah, solid show. Check it out. But, like, I mentioned
solids. Yeah,
I mentioned Laplace earlier, and I know you really like that, Callum, and I'm not sure about you, Russ. Did you love it as much as Mr. TheCanipaEffect?
Wait, so Callum loved it? Is that?
I really like it. It was one of my favourite shows this season.
I see. I wouldn't say it's one of my favourite this season, but it was good. It was very stylistic looking. So here's what it felt like, Callum. It felt game-like. I've told you this before, but
yeah, you've mentioned this before, and I'm not.
I don't get it. I don't get what he's trying to.
It's an interesting assessment.
It does. It feels so game. It like I don't know why, but it does feel game-like to me. Kind of like I don't want to say Danganronpa because it's different.
I mean, that's like a mystery type thing, at least, sort of.
It's still the same idea of stylized mystery.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would rather liken it to. That's the thing. Danganronpa was this sort of thing where it's parts about the psychology of why did they kill them, but then the game very much went into, okay, it's not just about motives, but let's find out how they killed them, what item. Professor Plum in the library.
I was literally just gonna say that. What is this, Cluedo? Like, yeah.
Like if you want to see like adaptations that are like games, it's like Persona 4, where it like literally has the day factor and night factor like in it, and Danganronpa was like that too.
Yeah, Danganronpa The Animation's hugest problem though is that it
too much
did
of a video game.
It didn't give the audience enough opportunity, because the thing I love about crime stories and detective stories
figuring it out yourself.
They give you enough information for you to figure it out yourself, and then you feel rewarded for it. But Game of Laplace is a different type of story altogether, whilst Danganronpa is 50-50, because this is about the human philosophy behind killing someone. And it doesn't make it always seem like a negative thing. So in Game of Laplace, it went on this idea of a human chair. It's not the human chair from Edgar Allan Poe's books, but it's a new concept and one that he would have thought of. If you've ever heard of I think it's called Erogura.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, erotic, grotesque nonsense. Mm-hmm. That's basically what this is. It's about the weird, the strange, the sexually deviant, the grotesquely deviant, absolutely sociopathy, and in this case, people begging to be killed by someone they love and then turned into chairs because then they'll always be with them. That is fucking nuts.
That is very weird.
Second episode.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fucking
sorry.
Like when, on the sociopath thing, like that goes hand in hand with the aesthetic front. Like Ron, like it has a very deliberate disconnect between the MC, who pretty sure he's the MC mostly, like the 13-year-old guy Kobayashi.
Yeah.
Like between his look on the world. Like I saw people criticizing the cutouts Don't know why. Tons of shows do that, and I don't see how those shows did it better. I think you're just being a bit biased.
Yeah,
and
the
an
thing
asshole.
about the cutout is people say that's like a cut to cut corners and everything.
But
in this
for,
case,
like, Kobayashi,
the cutouts move around.
Yeah, that and Kobayashi, this is through Kobayashi's perspective. Like, you know that when, like, the detective takes his hands and the detective comes into view. Kobayashi is someone who, like, he's bored with life. He doesn't care about anything that around him. That's why everything is cut out like that, because he doesn't care about these people until they come in and they turn into the actual character designs. And you're like, these are the important people. These are the people that Kobayashi cares about, he's interested in. And that is a great way to do it. And I don't know why people are criticizing them. I think it's a great way of showing Kobayashi's outlook on life at the moment.
Yeah, and that was made inherently clear because in the second episode, Kobayashi is absent completely, and we see the school, no silhouettes anywhere.
Oh, fucking
everyone's
called it.
Everyone's a character design, and there's nothing weird about the visual outlook on things. It's just normal. And that's because Kobayashi isn't there, and we're no longer looking at everything through his perspective, which I think is just a really, really fantastic way of doing everything. It's this constant battle between dark and light that just makes something genuinely unsettling that I'm really, really interested in seeing more in. This is why it is one of my favourite shows, because it is that thing that every part of it you can just reflect on and go, wow, that's brilliant. And because I decided to read into the author's stuff, a lot of the things from his books are playing into this. So the three main characters, the detective, Kobayashi, and his friend who's totally into him, they are...
Oh, yeah, no, I agree with you there. There's no way he's not totally gay for Kobayashi. Glasses-kun?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was just like, oh my god, I'm shipping this so hard.
But yeah, that's not even a weird thing for it to happen. It's not like they're gonna go,
well, it shouldn't be weird.
They're not gonna go, he's actually a girl or anything.
Well, if they did that, I'd be super angry.
Yeah, because Edgar Ranpo, like 1930s, having homosexual characters, and like Kobayashi was a trap in the 1930s as well. Like, he did not give a shit. He went anywhere he wanted to because he knew that it would unsettle society. He knew that it would push these new ideas, and he knew it would be interesting.
Basically, what you're saying is he created the first trap character. The thing is, like, it's really easy from the get-go to tell that he's a boy. Like, it's not hard. Like, I didn't even for a second think it was a girl. I was like, he has some girlish, like, features. Like, there's tons of boys in real life who have girlish features on them. It's just like, it's just because it's anime, people are criticizing it for no reason.
But the way he walks and all of those things,
he's just flamboyant.
Yep, pretty much.
I walk like that. I walk just like a true man should.
Yeah. Can I make a bet right here and now?
Yeah, sure.
I bet within this series, for some mystery, he is going to dress up as a girl.
I don't even want to make that bet because you're fucking going to be right. I know you're going to be right. There's no way that won't happen. It's going to be like, to understand this girl, I must dress as her. But yeah, Game at Laplace is a show you should definitely check out if you haven't already, because, you know, like, mystery shows are really hit or miss a lot of the time, and like mysteries thrive on baiting the unknown, and the Game of Laplace has a lot of unknown going about it.
Oh yeah,
it's good. It's good.
Yeah, definitely something unique, which we don't see. We see unique shows a lot, but nothing that ventures into something so weird as Game of Laplace.
But anyways, enough about that, because there's a whole season to talk about. Russ, Aoharu x Machinegun. Ridiculous name. Ridiculous show.
Yes. Ridiculous show. Best way you can describe it. Silly and fun. It's just a great time. I really liked the BB gun game in the second episode.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was pretty fun. Even though, I don't know if you noticed, Callum, but they didn't actually play that much. most of it was just talking, but it felt fun at the time.
Yeah. I've played paintball, and it's not so. We don't really get those heart-to-heart conversations whilst we're shooting each other.
You're telling me you don't caress your fellow player while shooting them in the chest? You're telling me you don't break like thousands of dollars of property while trying to take him out? Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think of the third guy, Callum? Because I don't like him, but I want to know what you think. Yeah, the third guy to come along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked what he did in this episode. I thought it was incredibly cheesy. Like, it's the whole fairy tale power of friendship thing that a lot of people will go, oh, that was just lame. But for me,
everybody's going to do that.
It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't want them to continue with that arc, though. That was funny for a bit. If they continue this angsty relationship, then it's just going to be.
They probably will, you know.
Dull.
Like if I had to make a guess, I'd say they probably will. Yeah.
But thankfully, the other two characters are entertaining enough to keep it going, and especially Tachibana, best girl of the season.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm the hero for justice.
Yeah, jumping out of a fucking third story window, going, I am Tachibana, I will defend justice.
I will defeat evil by punching it in the face. Yeah. Like, it's like, usually I'd, like these types of characters who are like, oh, I want justice and stuff, and be like, oh, this is kind of played out annoying at this point, honestly, but it's kind of endearing. Maybe it's because it's a girl dressed up as a boy and she totally owns that, because, like, they're not playing up the fact that she dresses up as a boy as like some sort of joke. It's just her style. That's really cool.
Yeah. It's not like she's only pretending to still be a boy because she has no other way to repay this debt to this guy who's basically she broke all of his stuff. I'd be pretty fucking pissed off.
It was great scene,
he was kind of asking for it, having an airsoft field inside of a host club.
What's gonna happen? What would happen though, Callum, if she did reveal it? Like, what would he? Because he says like he's gonna. He says he doesn't like having girls on his team.
Yeah.
But the debt's just gonna go away? Like, what would happen? She wouldn't be able to do anything.
I think he'd force her to work in his host club or something like that.
Yeah.
I think she's just thinking, what, I might as well do this because the other option wouldn't be as fun.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. She doesn't like playing. Like, in her dialogue, she like says, "Oh, this is like a waste of time." So.
Yeah, but I think she's all in this second episode, she found reasons to, because they found the assholes, and she's like, I'm going to punish you through this game.
Yeah.
And, like, her confrontations with those characters, like, running up, batting away his gun, just pointing it right at his head, like, the atmosphere of this show can change in about 2 seconds, and it's all due to the visual design, and Brainspace has done a fantastic job with it.
Mm-hmm.
I do miss old Brainspace though.
Yeah,
like the show looks pretty, but animation wise, no.
Also,
great.
It's never gonna get a sequel.
Yeah, no, it's never gonna get a sequel.
Yeah.
So enjoy while you can.
Yeah. Yes. That's the problem with seeing a Brainspace show and enjoying it. Going, wow, this is fantastic.
You know,
I can't wait to be disappointed that there won't be another sequel.
Natsume's Book of Friends has a sequel 4, but that's the only one ever. So rest in peace. But
yeah, the rest, I presume there was some sort of situation where the publishers just begs Brainspace for solid weeks and then just gave it to someone else instead.
This show kind of reminded me of that one Gainax show that I'm pretty sure Russ hasn't seen, but I know Callum, you saw it.
Yes.
C3 Boo? Was that it?
Yes, Stellar Women's Academy is the
there
English
it is.
name.
Yeah. Underrated show. I mean, not underrated. Overlooked would be the better word.
Yeah. It's one of those shows that when you look at it and you read the synopsis and everything, it's like, oh, it's typical like Sabugebu. They're just playing in their little survival games, but it actually gets far deeper than that and goes into this idea of
lots of psychological like trauma and stuff.
Yeah, like taking a game too seriously. I don't think it will go as far as
Aoharu will not. It will not go that far. God, no. There's no way that's gonna happen.
Just you wait, Glen. Just you wait. You're gonna be wrong.
It's just gonna go super dark.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like,
will become
I didn't load this gun with BBs. It's loaded with bullets.
Yeah, that was an actual plot point in Stella's Women's Academy. It wasn't that they loaded it with bullets, but they had these modified high-powered guns that could actually kill a person.
I don't remember that very well.
It was the reason for like the main character's breakdown later on. But that's actually kind of a spoiler.
I remember now. No, the thing is, no one's gonna go watch it after we said this.
Yeah,
like seriously,
no one
they might.
Because
you never know. There might be one guy out there who might be just like,
doubtful.
I'm gonna watch this now.
Yeah. I've got a half-written review on it. Hopefully that'll push people to go and check it out.
That guy, though.
Well, not anymore. Now you just spoiled it. But yeah.
No, he didn't. Don't worry about it. That one guy who's just living in the database, but he's not, because Overlord is not Log Horizon Season 3.
That was the worst transition.
I think that was a really good transition. Like, I thought of it.
Yeah, that
wasn't
wasn't bad.
That moment's gonna come. It'll come eventually.
Yeah. I don't... No, that was awful.
It was amazing.
Callum, I've seen some bad
justify it for
transitions. That was not awful. Yeah.
Hey, I do great transitions on my show.
I love how you just assumed that I was talking about you then. You were just like... But, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, Overlord, you know, just another one of those anime about getting trapped in a game world, etc., etc. But this one was actually interesting because it was about an MMO world that was dying, and I don't know if... I know Callum probably has played... MMOs only last for like a good 5 or so years, and then they like the audience basically just dies out and people stop playing the game, and that was basically the opening to this show. And I'm sure it won't keep up with this like melancholy that the guy had about his favorite game world basically coming to an end. And like I think that was probably an amazing, like not an amazing first episode, but it was a really big shock because like I was going into this expecting rubbish essentially, and I just get this dude.
Really like that premise though, because that is an actual thing. Loads of MMOs go down.
I've been super sad. Yeah, like this isn't an MMO, but like when Halo 2 servers went down on like Xbox, like I stayed up all night until those servers like died down. Died. It's that keeping with it idea, and like MMOs get shut down all the time. There's Korean companies out there who will make MMOs, close them down, make MMOs, close them down, just to keep it going and just using the same engine for it. And there is always that moment of, here's everything we've built up during this MMO, let's just stick with it until those last... Say goodbye to your memories.
Hours. Yeah, let's get out all of our cool weapons that we've collected and just use them for one last time.
Yeah, it's just like...
Let's go around our guild hall that we spent all this time making. And Overlord captures that really, really effectively.
It was weirdly blared with like poignant themes. Like sure, it's probably not going to continue after that first episode.
Oh yeah,
but that first episode was. I watched it with you. It was great. I was so surprised. Yeah. Like I couldn't. Like I felt sad. I was like, I know this feeling. Like I don't know if like it'll be as like enjoyable or as good to others who can't like identify with the MC, but. It's sad, like, even if, like, you don't understand why, it's sad because we've experienced that.
Yeah. It showed a recognition of what MMOs are, how MMOs work, and most importantly, how MMO communities work. I just really hope that's still relevant, because as much as people say, yeah, we've had loads of MMO anime. It's still a really interesting way to look at a fantasy world.
Yeah, and this guy just starts out at the top, essentially. So I want to see what he does with that. Besides, groping that one girl's boobs, which was probably like the worst part of that episode, despite me being like, I'd probably do that. But besides that,
yeah. But this isn't like a common MMO. A lot of the MMOs that we've seen in other series have been they've just taken it from World of Warcraft. This is actually going into like, I can't even remember a game offhand, but there's not many that like really let you go into guild wars. Actually, there's an example. Guild Wars.
No.
Log Horizon was a weird futuristic idea of an MMO using past concepts. Like a MMO like Log Horizon cannot exist.
No.
Because it can't have constant battles. Like it can't have PvP, PvE, and all of that working in tandem.
Yeah.
In the same world, it would have to instance things off a bit. Yeah, that's just generally how it is. But having like your guild as a defensive base in Overlord and having these NPCs that you actually program yourselves, it's a modern idea of an MMO, and I'd really like to see how that's expanded upon.
Yeah, a bit sad, like, that Madhouse obviously isn't throwing a lot of their resources at it, because it looks pretty bad. The OP's rad and metal as fuck, though. But I guess...
They're all on the Oregon... They're all on the Monogatari train.
No, I wouldn't even say that, because Monogatari doesn't even really look that good. It's more the fact that probably, like, One Punch Man is taking out most of their resources and talented people.
That's next season, isn't it?
I think. Right. Pretty sure it is, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Overlord is definitely something I'm interested in looking at. But how about we move over to something a bit lighter, a bit lovelier. Let's talk about Wakaba Girl.
Are we actually going with this, Callum? Alright. What do I say? It's
short show.
It's a short show. It's 8 minutes per episode. It's pretty great.
People are just gonna be angry we're talking about this instead of like a full-length show, They're just gonna be super angry.
But fuck it. It captured our hearts as much as a full-length show.
It did fill the hole that Kinira Mosaic left.
Yeah.
Who's your favourite girl, Callum? You don't have to remember their names, just their hair colour.
Is that how we're going to be describing Wakaba Girl now? We're just going to be going, oh, that one.
Well, I really like the orange hair girl personally, but yeah.
So it's...
I think it's hard not to like Blacker, the Adore Summer girl, because she just her outlook on the world is just hilarious.
Yeah,
it's just so charming to see. Oh, my dream is to be a high school girl.
Same. I can identify with that. But yeah, speaking of lighthearted and fun, Gakkou Gurashi is something we're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about it.
Okay, but I thought you were just transitioning away from Wakaba Girl.
I maybe was because I don't have much to say about Wakaba Girl.
But have you not watched the second episode yet, Glen?
I watched
crazy
shit. I watched. Really?
Like literally,
really,
get ready, Glen. Oh, you're in for a treat.
All right.
Starts.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'll get to it. But yeah, Gakkou Gurashi, lighthearted fun. You should totally watch it.
Yes, it's in the same vein as Wakaba Girl, of course.
I read the manga. They're lesbians, and it's really good. Highly recommend. This recommendation isn't suspicious or anything. Just watch it.
Yeah. Just watch it. It's a charming, fun, slice of life show set in a school that, for some reason, lets a dog roam around.
That dog.
I wonder why.
That dog. I loved that dog so much. That was a great dog.
It was adorable. Yeah. I'm sure they'll have lots of fun times with that dog.
Yeah, she just like threw that dog like quite viciously.
Jojo?
What?
That was a reference to JoJo, Russ. You're not gonna get it, but hey, you in the audience, did you get the reference?
JoJo fans are the worst fans.
They are the worst fans. Hi.
I think we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
Because we have talked about everything that we've all seen, and there's a large library of stuff to watch this season, and I don't think I'm alone in saying it's generally a really good season to just jump into anything with.
Okay, so
would you say there's any lowlights for this show, for this season?
Lowlights?
Anything to avoid.
Yeah, the Diomedes show, like the Sky Wizard show.
But they're in the sky, Glen.
Yeah, they're in the sky, but they somehow still managed in a fucking forest in the sky where there's literally no corners except for the vending machine to run right.
It's a forest in the sky.
They somehow, with that one corner, managed to run into each other, grab her tits. She happened to have toast in her mouth because, of course. And my God, it is not great. Don't watch it. Monster Musume.
In the sky.
Monster Musume is the good harem of this season.
They make toast in the sky.
Yeah, unbelievable. If I wrote a plane and like wrote a manga, would you be like, this manga was made in the sky? It's like Boyhood. It should be recommended for a fucking Nobel Peace Prize. I don't fucking know. Is that what you want?
Glen, I've spent my childhood sitting lying on my back, looking up at the sky and going, I wish there was a Wizards Academy right up there.
Well, there is for you, just for this season. Go watch it.
Sky Wizards Academy. It's going to be the anime of the year. Russ, would anything you haven't really liked this season? Anything you would skip over?
I've avoided all the stuff that I wouldn't like, so it's pretty great. I'm watching 10 shows and I love them all. So
great.
It's all good.
Awesome.
It's all good on my end.
So
what about you though, Callum? Answer your own question. Yeah.
Only show I would skip. Actually, I wouldn't even skip Chaos Dragon. I just
no, don't do that.
To see like
watch it with friends.
It is one of those shows you just gotta watch with friends. It's like maybe like a character will just turn up with no shirt on. Someone just will forget their shoes.
That's the golden mark of a good show.
Yep. No pants. It's just the beginning.
All right, so yeah, I guess we'll wrap this up. I guess in my opinion, I describe this season as a season of a lot of solid shows, like a good season just to watch stuff. It's a lot of fun, but like it doesn't have as many highlights. And I've only seen the first episodes of things, so maybe I'm completely wrong. But like last season had Euphonium, Snafu 2, and Kekai Sensen, which were all big 3 highlights of the week for me. Like every single time I watched an episode, and this season doesn't seem to have that same feeling about it.
I'd agree with that to an extent. I think there are highlights within this season that I'm going to remember, but I don't think anything can hold up to some of last season's highlights. Like, I can't think of anything right now that can hold up to Kekai Sensen, for instance.
Chaos Dragon.
Hey, Chaos Dragon has characters with no pants. Kekai Sensen didn't dare go that far.
I know. What if shows have to take risk, and Chaos Dragon is taking the risk.
It was just weak, honestly. Yeah.
So, is that everything, Callum? Was that the only show?
That is. Yeah, Chaos Dragon would be the only one that I'm watching that I'd say skip. I'm watching every show this season. Stupidly enough. Yep, it's the hard road, but it's the rewarding one because we get that moment, that privilege of saying, "Oh yes, that really good show that you're only just discovering. I watched it airing."
My life.
Probably going to end up skipping God Eater though, because that is going to be
a mess. I mean, it's going to be a production.
You just said every show, Callum. You just said every show. So now you got to watch them all.
That's a good point, yeah. But even like stuff that we were thinking, it might be a bit trashy, like Gate. It's really good. Jitsu wa Watashi wa, which we didn't really cover in this episode, but we might come back to it.
I loved the premiere.
Really good.
Watch it.
Yeah, brilliant premiere. Like, it played off its premise really well. Sorigaseyu, another
Yeah, I agree.
highlight. It's not as...
Yeah, there's tons of stuff we didn't actually talk about. We didn't talk about Monster Musume, we didn't talk about Himoto Umuro-chan, we didn't fucking talk about
Shimoseka.
Sympho Gear because you guys haven't seen it.
Didn't talk about Shimoseka. There's just dive
Too much
headfirst
anime,
into this
too
season.
little bloody time. That's just. I think there's too much anime in the world. Too much. We can't do anything about that. We're not going to talk about them all. Thanks for watching. See ya.